Hello guys, Robot1 here, and welcome to How to Yu-Gi-Oh!, a segment on my channel where I'm going to teach you various things about Yu-Gi-Oh!, just mainly the basics. So, today we are going to be looking at how to link summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, the link mechanic is the most recent mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh!, being that it is these lovely blue extra deck monsters right here. As you can see, we have multiple different ones in front of us, along with also some other cards that we'll be using to demonstrate how to link summon to you. So, without further ado, let's actually get into where the actual link monsters go. So, link monsters go in the extra deck zone. Just like any other extra deck card, they will be going in the extra deck zone, and will always start there unless necessary. These cards are blue in fashion, just like ritual monsters, and also are very different from ritual monsters, seeing as, looking at link monsters, there is a very defining difference from normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. They have these arrows around them, and also they don't actually have a defense, any defense points, but they do have a link rating, which is very important because it will tell you how many different materials you may need to actually make a link monster. So, what are these actual arrows though? What do they do? Well, these arrows indicate what is a linked zone. So, say that you've got three linked zones right here. Well, these zones are considered to be able to be used to special summon things from the extra deck, such as pendulum monsters and also other link monsters to the main monster zones. When these zones are linked, they also can give a link monster various effects depending on what is linked to the card. Such as, with Cerugious Gold Red, if 2 materials were used to make it, which are the lowest it can be used to make it, when a monster is special summoned to a link zone this card points to, then that monster will gain an additional 300 attack points. That is the basics of link summoning. That is the basics of what the link markers are and what a linked zone is. It will allow you to summon other linked monsters into the main monster zone from the extra deck, and also give various effects depending on if the link monster has an effect that will be bestowed upon it from there. But how do we link summon? Well, let's start off with 3 monsters in our main monster zone. So, we are going to show you how to link summon. Link summoning is a very easy mechanic in the game, and is honestly the easiest extra deck mechanic out of all of them, for very specific reasons. All you need to do, depending on what the link monster says it requires, which it will say here, such as Proxy Dragon right here, all Proxy Dragon needs to be able to be summoned via a link summon is 2 monsters. So it's very generic, being that you don't need anything but 2 monsters. So, we are going to go ahead and send our Cloudian Sheep card right here, and also our Ram Cloud right here, to the graveyard to successfully link summon our Proxy Dragon. Now, as I said before, you cannot summon a link monster to a main monster zone unless the zone is linked via the arrows on a link monster. So we can only place him in the extra monster zone up in the corner over here. So, we have successfully completed a link summon. All you need to do to link summon is send monsters in your main monster zone to the graveyard to successfully link summon. Now, there is something very important though. If you have set monsters on your board, these monsters that are face down cannot be used for a link summon. Face down monsters can never be used for a link summon, and will never be able to be used for a link summon because they are set and they are not face up on the board, so they will not be considered as a viable material for a link summon. So if you have these set monsters and 1 face-up monster, you are not able to use one of these monsters with your face-up monster to link summon. It will have to be a monster that is on the board that can be used, face-up monster on the board that can be used as a link summon to summon out our Proxy Dragon. So that is just one way to link summon. And obviously there are other ways to link summon as well, such as using all 3 monsters to summon out our Decode Talker as well. Because of Decode Talker, it needs 3 materials, as it says. It only needs 2 plus effect monsters. Now, there will be different summoning methods for different link monsters, seeing as they may need different materials, they may need different things to actually link summon. So, with us here, we use 3 effect monsters to send to the graveyard to successfully summon our Decode Talker into the extra monster zone. Now, how do we now there are also other ways to use link monsters to actually summon easier. Now, link monsters do not always need the amount of monsters on the board. So if you've got a link rating of 4, you do not necessarily need 4 monsters to make it, because to make a link summon, you require up to the link rating of the cards. So if you have 4 monsters to make a link 4, you can use all 4 monsters to make said link 4, but you do not require 4 monsters to make the link 4. Now, what do I mean here? Say we have this proxy dragon in our extra monster zone. Now this card has 2 link arrows, meaning it's got a link rating of 2. Now that link rating is very important because depending on the link rating of a card can also depend if you can use it for a various link summon. Because when you're using a link monster to link summon, such as proxy dragon, we can use proxy dragon, Link Slayer, and Ram Clouder to actually summon our Link 4 Saruja Skull Dread, because its link rating is 4, and you can count the link rating of a link monster as one of the monsters towards the card. So, because we've got a link rating of 2, it counts as 2 of the link ratings, 2 of the monsters required to actually summon a link monster, such as Saruja Skull Dread. So, if you have, as I said, a link monster in the extra monster zone and various monsters on the board, if this is a link 2, you can use it to make a link 4. Now this can also be said the same if you want to use just Ram Clouder and Proxy Dragon to summon out Decode Talker. Now this card is a link rating of 3, so because it's a link rating of 3, all you need is a link 2, and also another monster to make with each other to actually summon Decode Talker. So, that is just another way to summon a link monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, there are also other various link monsters that you can summon, such as Borrelsword Dragon. Now, these will require 3+ effect monsters. There are link monsters out there that will require more monsters to actually make them, such as Borrelsword right here. Now, to summon Borrelsword successfully, you could use 4 monsters. As we know, you can use up to 4 monsters to summon Borrelsword, but you could also use the Link 2, along with 2 other monsters to summon the Borrelsword Dragon. That's another way to make it. But if you say wanted to make Borrelsword with a Link 2 and a Link 3, you could not just use the Link 2 and Link 3 to summon the Borrelsword Dragon, because it requires 3+ effect monsters, not just 2. So, that is the basics of link summoning. As we know, there are also other monsters, such as Saruja Skull Dread, that will require 2+ monsters with different names. So, if you do have one of these monsters, they will require monsters with different names. But obviously, there are all sorts of cards out there that require different materials and different such things to actually summon. But guys, this is how to link summon. I hope you enjoyed and learned how to link summon. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content and how-to basics. How to Yu-Gi-Oh! So you guys can learn different things about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I will teach, and so you can also learn the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh! And other stuff in the game. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Robot1, signing out. Later all.